Hi, welcome to my channel Inspiration Always. I am Preeti and today I am going to talk about the topic freedom from anger and irritation. First of all, I would like to say thanks to you for subscribing my channel, for watching my videos, for your support, and any of you who has not yet subscribed my channel or liked my video, you may subscribe the channel after watching this video. If you like it, then you may please subscribe it by touching the subscribe word which is written in red color, and you can just touch the thumbs up for liking this video. If at all you like this video, only then you are requested to do so, otherwise you are free. So now I would start my topic, that is freedom from anger and irritation. So let's first understand what is anger. Anger we all have experienced in our lives on daily basis. We all have experienced the anger, if not anger then at least irritation in our lives. So let's share a few examples. I would give you an example of a man who was sitting in a bar, and he was sitting in the bar, and some person enters the bar and he leaves the door open. When he leaves the door open, this person gets up and closes the door calmly. Then another person goes out and he also leaves the door open. This time this person gets up and closes the door again, but he has little bit disturbance inside. Then again a third person enters the room and he also leaves the door open. This time this person gets slightly irritated. He gets up and he closes the door with irritation. Then a fourth person enters and he also leaves the door open. This time this person is more irritated and he gets up, he slams the door. Again a fifth person goes out and he leaves the door open. This time this person can't bear it. Now his level of anger, the irritation has increased, the intensity has increased. So he goes behind that man and he shouts at him and he misbehaves with him. He yells at him. The fifth person is not able to understand that inappropriate response, because he thinks that he could have said that nicely also, he could have said that respectfully also, but why did he shout and why did he yell at him? He could have conveyed this message to him in a calm manner too. Both are right on their part. If we see this man who has experienced this incident 5 times before, his anger is justified. But for the other person who has done it for the first time, this anger is not justified. So it's like the man kept changing, but the action was same, that was leaving the door open, which was making this man irritated. Let's take another example of the man who went with his family in a restaurant to have lunch. After taking lunch, he came out of the restaurant with his family and he looked from a distance in the parking lot where his car was parked. There were two youngsters who were trying to steal his stereo system, the music system. The one youngster had broken the glass of the window. The other youngster was trying to take that stereo out of that car. He ran after them and he caught hold of them. He grabbed them and he thrashed them. His wife also informed the police and police also arrived in time. So this man, although thrashed the person, but he did not make him hurt too much that he had to take any kind of medical help, or he did not kill that youngster. So why did not he kill that youngster? Why did not he hit him so bad that he should need the medical help? There were two reasons. One was internal inhibition and the other was external inhibition. The internal inhibition was that this was not right to kill a man or hurt a person for such an act, or take the law into his hand when already they are custodians of law. So he resisted himself. He did not let his anger come out in that manner. And there was external inhibition also, where he had this fear that he might have to go to jail or police would arrest him also if he does such act. So he stopped himself from getting that much angry. There's another instance where there's a lady who takes her sick child to a clinic. She finds that there were too many patients already in the clinic and there was more waiting time. Then she found that there was only one doctor and one nurse who were attending to the patients. So she got angry more because she felt that as per the number of patients, the medical staff should have been increased. Then her intensity of anger increased when she got to know that all of those patients were given 2 p.m. appointment. So this was like, now she was into full-blown anger. But when her turn came, she went to the doctor, but she did not get angry at the doctor or the nurse. She just described her son's illness, and doctor wrote the prescription. He explained his illness, and she came back home. So when she was asked why did not she get angry on the doctor or the nurse, why did not she say anything to them, she said because the doctor is a respectable person and they should respect the doctor for the profession. So she had those internal belief systems which stopped her from getting angry on the doctor. At the same time, she had this fear that probably doctor would not see her son properly or he would not prescribe the right medicines and he would take a revenge if she reacted like that. So she stopped herself and she controlled herself. There's another example of a mother and child where a 10-year-old child drops a mug or cup from his hand unintentionally by mistake. This mother reacts badly. She shouts at him. She tells him that he was irresponsible, he was careless, and he did not know the value of things, he did not know the value of money, and he did not respect her efforts, what she makes to earn the living. So this is how she reacted on that child. And there was another mother, similar situation, but this mother was more concerned about if the child got hurt or not, and she said that okay, fine, no problem, she would get another mug, and she just told him calmly to be careful next time and use it wisely next time. There are another examples. One example of a lady whose 12-year-old daughter, she did not tidy her room and she took a lot of time to take bath. So she felt that she is intentionally avoiding this task of tidying her room. She was deliberately doing it, taking too much time in the bath. So she got angry over her and she reacted badly to her. In the other case, there was another mother, but she found that her daughter was very much hygiene conscious and it's good to take proper bath, and she's taking time to take bath. She took it positively, and then she felt that because probably she's enjoying her bath and she's having fun in her bath and she loves taking bath, so she took it positively and she did not get angry. So similar situations for different reactions. You would also find patients who have the same diagnosis but they have different reactions. Same kind of pain, but somebody is screaming with pain and the other person is tolerant of pain and still remaining calm. So this is about our inner belief system, about our patience, about our tolerance level. It's not about the situation or the person, because if the situation was same, then everybody's level of anger, intensity of anger should remain same. But it's not like that. You would find the differences that different people behave differently and they react differently. So it's about our own belief systems. In some situations we believe that people are usually selfish, they do it intentionally, they do it deliberately, they are self-centered or they are unhelpful. So with this belief system we react. Sometimes we react because we believe that things should be done our own way. So when it's not done exactly in our way, we get angry or we get irritated. So we have to change our belief systems. If we change our belief systems, we change our outlook, we can get freedom from anger, we can get freedom from irritation. This is about my own perspective. This is not about the other person. When we put the blame to the other person, it's very natural, it's very easy to put the blame on other person. Usually we say, I got angry because the other person made me do it. So when you give the power back to the other person, if you give the power away to the other person, then other person would control my behavior. But if I take the power back in my hand, then I would be responsible, and then I have full control over my behavior. In that case, I need to change my outlook, I need to change my perception, I need to change my belief systems which I have been carrying for long. So we have to just check our own beliefs which we are carrying since childhood, and we can work on them to change our belief systems and bring in more acceptance, bring in more tolerance. And if we change the perspective, if we see things in a positive way, in a useful way, then we can get real freedom from anger. Sometimes when somebody is having a discussion with us, he's just giving logic for his own belief, or he's giving logic for her own viewpoint. But usually we feel that he is just trying to demean me, degrade me, or prove me wrong. But this is my perspective, my belief system. The other person might not be intending to prove me wrong, or he might not be intending to uh, demean me. He is just giving logic for his own belief system. He is just giving logic for his own viewpoint and what he strongly believes. But I find it as a personal attack. I take it as he's trying to pull me down. So this is about my perspective. So I have to check on my belief systems. I have to see what belief systems are basically disturbing me. And this I am doing for myself. This I am not doing for the other person. This is not to tolerate the other person. This is not to bring in acceptance for the other person. This is to be at ease with myself. This is to just feel the calm inside. This is for my own well-being, my own physical and mental health and emotional health. So if I get priority to my own well-being, then I would definitely try to make efforts to change my belief systems, change my perceptions, change my outlook. And this I can do with the help of meditation. In meditation, we slow down our minds. When we slow down our minds, then our mind becomes powerful. When our mind becomes powerful, in that case, we can change our belief systems. We can replace our negative viewpoints, our negative ideas with the positive ones. We can change our negative emotions with the positive ones. So this way it would be helpful for us, and this is the real freedom. This is the actual freedom. So this is the freedom, because then I would have the control over myself. I would have the power to choose how to react. So in a way, this is the sign of strength. This is a sign of courage. This is not a sign of weakness. Some people believe that anger is necessary to make the other person understand, but that's not the thing. Basically, we are harming ourselves, we are harming our own health, we are harming our own peace, basically. So we have to give importance to our own peace, our own inner being, our own well-being. So let's make a promise today. Let's try and let's make genuine efforts to check on and change the belief systems we are carrying, the ideas we are too much attached to, and see things from a different perspective rather than from our usual perspective we used to view things earlier. Thank you so much for watching this video. Thanks for giving your time. Thanks for your patience. Thanks for liking this video. We'll see you again in my next video with more on freedom, the inner freedom, the true freedom. Thank you.